This tutorial will demonstrate the menu bar items on the ED tracking board and explain what can be done from them. By the end of this session, you will be able to locate the menu bar, identify items in file, identify items in patient, identify items in orders, identify the items in bed, identify items in staff, and identify items in view. The menu bar is located at the top of your screen. It is above the toolbar. When you hover over a menu item with your mouse, you will notice a button appears. Each menu item will have a drop-down box when the menu button is clicked. The first item on the menu bar is File. It contains the following items. Refresh from database. This will refresh any new information in the system in regards to patients. The screen automatically refreshes every 60 seconds, but you can make it happen immediately. Refresh from update mechanism. This will refresh any new changes that include the addition of new staff in the system or a pharmacy update. Activate. This will bring back information if it was grayed out. Deactivate. This will gray out all information on the tracking board. Refresh configuration. This will update any changes made to items like the modify screen or disposition screens for the type of information that will be collected in those screens or a change in the columns of the tracking board. Exit. This is another way to exit the system. Please remember to never exit the system using the X in the upper right corner. Patient is the next item on the menu bar. Modify. Once you select a patient and then choose Modify, it will take you to the Modify screen. Here, modification can be made like moving rooms and making comments. Most of the information from this screen is not transferred to the chart. You may also find the Modify screen by double-clicking on a patient name. Disposition. This removes a patient from the tracking board. This may be used if you need the room but need to have the chart left open for further charting, or to remove LWOBS patients from the tracking board. When a nurse closes the chart, there is a question that if answered yes, the patient will be removed from the board when the chart is closed. Assign staff. This assigns staff members to rooms. Once you open Assign Staff, then select if you want to assign RNs or MDs. RNs will be assigned to rooms, where MDs will be assigned to patients. Assign Bed. This assigns a patient to a room. Click on the patient, then click on Assign Bed, then select the bed. Unassign Bed. This removes the patient from the room and places them back in the lobby. Switch beds. This moves the patient from one bed to another. Location. This brings up a list so that if the patient is leaving the unit, others will know where to find them. Modify discharge. Here you may make a change if you put the patient LWOBS but they were actually an AMA. You may make the correction here. Cancel discharge. This cancels a discharge if you remove a patient from the tracking board but did so accidentally. You may cancel the discharge. EDRN Alert On. Select your patient by clicking once on the patient name. Note the entire line will be black with the words white when the patient is selected. Now click on EDRN Alert On from the patient drop-down menu. This will change the nurse column for the patient to yellow. Note that the toolbar has the RN On button, which will also turn the alert on. EDRN Alert Off. To turn an EDRN alert off, locate EDRN Alert Off from the patient menu and click on it after selecting the patient. You notice the nurse name will no longer be yellow. There is an additional way to turn off the alert. A toolbar button named RN Off will also turn the alert off. ED/MD Alert On. Clicking here will turn the MD Alert, which turns the MD name column cyan in color. First, highlight the patient name who needs the MD Alert. Then locate the ED/MD Alert On from the patient menu bar. Then click on the ED/MD Alert On. This will turn the alert on. Note that you may also turn it on from the toolbar by clicking MD On after highlighting the patient. ED/MD Alert Off. This will turn the MD Alert off. First, highlight the patient you wish to turn the alert off, then click on the patient menu bar. Locate the ED/MD Alert Off and click on the words. It is also possible to complete this task from the toolbar by selecting a patient, then clicking MD Off. ED/Aux Alert On. This is also known as the Reg Alert. This alert will be used to notify registration that a patient is ready for full registration. You may also use the toolbar Reg On button. ED/Aux Alert Off. This is also known as the Reg Alert Off. This will be used to turn the Reg Alert off. Notice there is a toolbar button for the same task. The Orders menu button has several options. Orders. This takes you to Care Organizer. HOM orders may be entered here. Lab results. This will take you to the lab results. Radiology results. This will take you to the radiology results. And flowsheet will give you information. Health View is the area to click to enter orders on ED hold patients. Medication history. You can find the patient's medication history as well as add medications. Online Med Rec Report. This prints the medical records report. Online Caregiver Report. This prints the caregiver's report. Chart. This takes you to the HEC chart. This is also accessed by clicking on the Chart toolbar button. It gives you several options to view the chart in different formats. Patient Chart Finder. This helps you locate a chart. The To-Dos option takes you to the to-do areas of the chart for orders to be done. Discharge Web Report lists all the patients seen in the last 24 hours. Bed. This is where you find most items to deal with the bed status. Add bed adds a bed to the room. Delete bed deletes the added bed or an overflow bed. Add overflow bed to track patients in the hallway or another overflow area. Mark as dirty marks the bed dirty. Mark as clean removes the word dirty, showing the room is clean. Block. This blocks the room that cannot or should not be used. And unblock. This unblocks a blocked room. The Staff button allows for login, allows the user to log on to the second level, also achieved by the Log On button. Log Off. This logs the user out of the second level. There is also a toolbar button for this application. Assign patients to staff member and assign to beds. View allows the person logged on to adjust what they see on the screen of the tracking board. Show Beds lets you see all of the beds in the ER. Hide Beds hides the beds so they don't show on the tracking board. Show Waiting Room places the waiting room at the bottom of the screen. Hide Waiting Room. the waiting room does not display on the tracking board. Show sorts and filters. This allows the 3 sort boxes under the toolbar to be displayed. Hide sorts and filters. This hides the sort boxes under the toolbar. Hide toolbar hides the toolbar, and Show toolbar lets you see the toolbar. This completes navigating the menu bar tutorial.